How was whenever Aaron Rodgers came through, how was that? Was that pretty, what was that like?
He was the coolest. So we probably had 30 or 40 guests on my show. He was the number one coolest dude that I didn't know what to think about him. I mean, I had you on the show, but I had met you a bunch of times before. He was the coolest guy that I just didn't know what I was going to get. He could not have been, he had this huge house. We did at Lake Tahoe at this golf tournament. And this is actually a good story. So I have like bookers. That's how I get my show most of the time. Sometimes I'll know the person, or sometimes they'll hit me up, or I'll hit them up on like Instagram. But most of the times it's a woman named Kelly and another woman named Peggy who from our booking department who like put everything together. So Peggy books Aaron Rodgers on my show. And we get a list. I don't know how it is for your pod, but it's like, I get a list of like, would you be interested in these people?
Yeah, same.
And I always just circle like the best ones. I just only like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and I never get any of them.
Yeah.
Or at least I hadn't got any of them in the past. And then I got a message or an email. It was like, hey, Aaron Rodgers will do your show. And I was like, no way, really? It's like, awesome. There was going to be 2 months from then at the Lake Tahoe golf tournament because he's on like a Greek vacation or something. So we get to the tournament and we're out there in Lake Tahoe. I don't know if you've been, but it's a hard place to get to. You got to fly to Reno. You got to fly across the country, fly to Reno, and then drive to Lake Tahoe. Yeah. And so we're out there. It's not an easy place to get to.
Beautiful drive.
Say the shoot's on a Tuesday. I don't really remember. The shoot's on like a Tuesday. And it's Monday. Yeah. And we're like, what time and where is this thing going to happen? And then Peggy, who's our booker, is like hitting up his agent or whatever. And she's like, we're going to get back to you. He's doing this, doing that. And then finally at night, they're just like, we're going to be honest with you. We haven't talked to Aaron in 2 months, the agent. He doesn't answer any of our calls. Like Aaron Rodgers.
Dang, it's like you guys are the Packers offensive coordinator.
Yeah, right. Like he just lives in his own existence. Like he just is he's in this lane or this like wave that he just riding.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how you feel when you're around him. He just kind of like, he's just on his own wavelength. And he just didn't talk to his agent for 2 months. So I'm out there, I'm like, what am I going to do? And actually shout out to big Pat McAfee.
That's awesome.
Who worked at Barstool, and I was like, Pat, I hate to call in a favor ever. And I don't know how I could repay you, especially he's got, freaking $2 billion now and all the access in the world. He's on every show. But I was like, here's the situation. Rodgers agreed to do the show. It's not like I'm asking you to ask Rodgers to do it. He said he would do it.
Right.
But we just don't know where he's at. We can't locate him.
Mystery.
And so Pat talked to Rodgers, who he responded to Pat, and he was like, show up at his house at this time tomorrow. So we get in there. The whole time we're with him, he doesn't have shoes on the whole time.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
that's a move right there.
He just I don't even know how to explain it. He's just cool. Like he's old fashioned cool. Like you're around him like, this is a cool guy. And he was awesome on the interview. And then
did he give y'all sodas or anything?
He had a full staff. He had like a full, like they made us drinks. We had went out the night before, and I think I was like a little hungover, and he was like, you need a drink? Like, I think he saw it in my eyes, like, you want a drink? And I was like, yeah, I would take a drink. Damn. So it was the staff like made me like a margarita, and we did the interview. It was awesome. And then we hung out, me, him, and Glenny Balls for like 7 hours.
No.
Yeah, just sitting on his porch talking. And I asked him every question. I mean, I don't want to like go too much into it, but I asked him every question that you could think of asking. Wow. Like off the record, what do you think about this? And he was super transparent, honest, answered every question, questions you can't even believe would be answered by anybody. And he was just awesome, dude. He was just, I kind of have a man crush on him, I guess. I don't know. That's what it's sounding like. I think he's just a stud. He's just really a stud.
Okay. And is he handsome? Does he seem handsome when you're around him?
I think he's traditionally I think he's in the upper tiers of handsome, but I think he would probably say he's beyond. He's like a Beyond Burger for handsome. Like,
oh damn.
But he's the real deal. You don't think about him being attractive when you're with him. You think about like this is just like and I'm a football fan too, so like what he's done on the field, and like how good he is at what he does.
Yeah.
And then just how he could be that cool too, and be on your own lane. He's super authentic. Or he is now. I mean, I don't know how he used to be
before the ayahuasca,
or before his whole like different. I mean, I think he's went through a lot of stuff. I mean, everyone knows about it.
He seems like a journeyman. He seems like a man who's almost traveled time now when I look at him.
Yeah, And he probably has.
When you left him that day, did you feel like, did you miss him?
Yeah. I texted him right afterwards. And I was like, we saw like a vaccination sign, like must be vaccinated. I was like, you can't come here, you know? He just texted back like, immunized, bro. You know? And Glenny Balls feels the same way. He's Glenny Balls going to kill me for saying this. He's Glenny Ball's background on his phone. Him and Glenny Balls like this is Glenny's background on his phone.
I think that's sweet, man. You know, it's hard to find good male figures out there in the world these days.
Especially athletes too, because it's been for a long time. Like, I mean, you're a huge sports fan and so am I. It's like for pretty much our whole lives, athletes haven't been able to, while they're playing especially, just like say wild shit and be like really good and have thought behind it. I mean, you hear some guys say some wild shit, but it's like they just didn't think about it. They accidentally said it.
Right.
But he's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And you know, his fan base is every type of person, every demographic, probably from multi countries. Yeah. And he just saying his truth, and it's kind of cool. That's what's so cool about him.
Yeah. It seemed like he's like a 6-shooter. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled out a 6-shooter.
Same. Yeah, I mean, he is.
And he just shot a bunch of fucking cool ass fucking ideas into the world. No bullets.
I wonder what he'll do after football.
Ooh. You know, did he talk about ayahuasca?
When I was with him, it was before his announcement that he had done it.
Right.
And he was like, I'm about to say something. He told me, I'm about to do this announcement. That's going to be pretty controversial. And I'm an idiot. And I was like, what is it? He's like, well, just that I've been using a little plant medicine. And I was like, bro, I was like, we all know. I told him, I was like, dude, everyone knows that you've fucking taken ayahuasca. And he's like, you think? I was like, everyone knows, dude. Trust me. It's like, that won't even make a blip on the news. And he says it was like every news story. I was like, dude, no one cares. Everyone knows. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got, because Aubrey Marcus invited me to go. I was supposed to go on that trip when they went.
And you didn't go?
I had a show book somewhere.
Shit.
It was in, I think, Tulsa. And it had been sold out for like 4 months. I just felt like I couldn't. I mean, I could have maybe sent a mass email to those people. And said like, hey guys, I'm thinking about doing this, you know, I don't know. But if like 50 of them said no, we wanted to see the show, I probably would have done the show.
Sent them, dude, honestly, if you would have live streamed you and Aaron doing ayahuasca, they'd probably been okay.
Yeah, I should have. Yeah. If I could have sold tickets to that, dang. Yeah, man.
But he was, I mean, I don't know if I butchered talking about it, but he is as cool of a guy as I've ever met in any walk of life. Just very, very cool to be around.
No, I think it's interesting, man, because you always kind of like, he seems a little bit like, he doesn't seem like a company man. That's what I like about him.
No. I could see how he'd be frustrating to play with, or definitely to coach.
Yeah.
You would, but at this point in his career, you don't
kind of coach a rattler.
You don't want to coach him. A smart one.
Yeah.
Who's probably better at being a rattler than you are.
Yeah. I don't understand how any good quarterback has a quarterback's coach who was not a good quarterback.
Yeah, but I'd say most of them didn't even play ever.
Hope you enjoyed that video, and you can watch another. And you can watch this one, you can watch this one. Different options, different choices. Some guy just brings you one option, not this guy. 2 options. Watch one, this one or this one.